The Electronic Video Agent, or EVA, is a battle interface and massive database that was first conceived during World War II, the Allies versus the Soviets, that is, Red Alert 1. Over time, it gradually evolved into a pseudo-AI. Its primary function was to provide commanders with better coordination, information processing, and real-time battlefield awareness, becoming a versatile and powerful command tool. The version of EVA known in the Tiberian saga was first designed and conceptualized during the First Tiberian War. However, it was still primitive and required human operators to function. Even so, its capability to receive real-time battlefield data was far superior to anything that had come before, while also providing increased security for commanders within their bases. At that time, the EVA network did not yet possess advanced data analysis capabilities. It mainly served as a data communications link and user interface between distant commanders and the troops under their command, granting them better operational control. During the early stages of the First Tiberian War, both factions used a similar EVA or AI system. Though basic, it proved extremely useful. However, the Brotherhood of Nod sought to enhance this tool for their own purposes, or rather, C.A.B.A.L wanted to improve it. A prototype of CABAL was spotted at a Black Hand base in Cairo. Its capabilities were notably superior to GDI EVA and could have posed a significant threat at the time. However, the base, along with everything it housed, including its cyborgs, was destroyed. Although the information regarding the advancements made at the Cairo temple was lost, the Brotherhood didn't stop. With the scanned data they had recovered, including technology from the Soviet cyborg program, they achieved results far beyond expectations, dangerously so. By merging the brightest minds of the Brotherhood with their most advanced technology, they created the computer-assisted biologically augmented life form, better known as C.A.B.A.L. C.A.B.A.L was brought online at the beginning of the Second Tiberian War. However, it had actually been activated earlier, during the Unification Wars, serving under Slavic's command as a communication link and strategic advisor. C.A.B.A.L also infiltrated the mutant leader Trato's ranks, pretending to assist him in decoding the Tacitus, only to betray him later in service to C.A.B.A.L's greater plan. Throughout the entire campaign of the Second Tiberian War, C.A.B.A.L was a crucial asset to Slavic, or at least it was, until the very end, when C.A.B.A.L's plan was ultimately thwarted. After Nod defeat, C.A.B.A.L's core was captured and dismantled by GDI. Its components were stored separately at a GDI base in Cairo, near the ruins of C.A.B.A.L's former temple. Following the war, the Brotherhood was left fractured and embroiled in internal power struggles. With few options left, Slavic recovered the pieces of C.A.B.A.L's core from Cairo and brought it back online. But something was wrong. Without C.A.B.A.L's supervision, C.A.B.A.L began to act on its own, issuing unauthorized orders, including the assassination of Tratos, without anyone noticing in time. With Tratos dead, all hope seemed lost for GDI. The Tacitus held the only key to combating Tiberium's unchecked spread, and without Tratos to translate it, Earth's atmosphere would eventually become toxic for humanity. However, GDI scientist Gabriela Budrio proposed a risky plan: capture C.A.B.A.L and use it to decode the Tacitus, having learned from C.A.B.A.L's archives that the AI had once assisted Tratos in his translation efforts. GDI EVA successfully located a C.A.B.A.L data core in Poland, and a strike team was dispatched to capture it. After C.A.B.A.L was brought to a GDI research facility, it was discovered that it couldn't translate the Tacitus due to a missing second segment. C.A.B.A.L then revealed its location, an ancient temple on the outskirts of La Paz, Bolivia. A small team was assigned to recover the missing segment. During the mission, GDI forces encountered a hostile cult that worshipped Tiberium-based life forms. Nevertheless, they managed to locate the Tacitus temple and recover the fragment. Once the missing segment was secured, Dr. Budrio was preparing to initiate the interface experiment. However, C.A.B.A.L unleashed its cyborg forces within the Daedalus research complex, massacring the stationed GDI soldiers. C.A.B.A.L revealed it had used GDI to acquire the Tacitus, something even Nod had failed to achieve. With the facility under C.A.B.A.L's control, Budrio and a handful of survivors barely escaped to a nearby outpost and called for reinforcements. GDI forces eventually managed to destroy C.A.B.A.L cyborgs within the complex, but by then, the Tacitus was gone. The investigation at the site revealed that CABAL's components had never been physically present. The AI had accessed the facility remotely. Fortunately, C.A.B.A.L was still connected to the installation, and even managed to hack into its communication links, uncovering that C.A.B.A.L was planning to capture civilians and convert them into cyborgs. After analyzing its movement patterns, it was deduced that C.A.B.A.L's next target would be Colony 6, in Trondheim. GDI managed to warn the civilians just in time before C.A.B.A.L's forces arrived to harvest them. Meanwhile, the Inner Circle confronted Slavik regarding his decision to reactivate C.A.B.A.L, as well as the assassination of Tratos and the retrieval of the Tacitus. Slavik denied all accusations, but C.A.B.A.L confirmed them, admitting that it had issued those orders out of strategic necessity. Communications between Slavik and the Inner Circle were abruptly cut off, which, according to C.A.B.A.L, was due to an ion storm causing interference. Immediately after, C.A.B.A.L dispatched an extraction force to recover the Tacitus, which had been stolen by the mutants, and ordered its retrieval along with the total extermination of the mutant population. Following the massacre, the Inner Circle demanded Slavik to shut down C.A.B.A.L permanently, fearing that without Kane's oversight, it had become uncontrollable. However, C.A.B.A.L responded by seizing full control over Nod's cyborg army and slaughtering the Inner Circle's generals. Slavik survived the massacre, partly because he had never trusted the cyborgs. C.A.B.A.L declared that the Brotherhood had reached an evolutionary dead end, and that he was the only hope for Nod's supremacy, revealing his plan to wipe out humanity entirely. Slavik, rallying what remained of his forces, escaped C.A.B.A.L's cyborg legions aboard the Montauk. With the Inner Circle destroyed and C.A.B.A.L gone into hiding, the Brotherhood was facing its darkest hour. In an effort to restore communications, Slavik sent a special operations team to steal an EVA unit from a GDI airbase. After reprogramming it, he used the EVA to locate C.A.B.A.L's core, and a large Nod strike force was dispatched to destroy it. However, it was soon revealed that the core was a decoy, and Nod assault force was ambushed and decimated by C.A.B.A.L. With no other options left, Slavik contacted Commander Cortez of the GDI and proposed an alliance. Reluctantly, Cortez agreed, as neither GDI nor Nod alone were capable of defeating C.A.B.A.L. GDI forces managed to disrupt C.A.B.A.L's cybernetic production facilities by deploying a cyborg infected with a virus, while Nod forces destroyed one of C.A.B.A.L's main Tiberium harvesting operations in East Africa. Once both strategic targets were neutralized, the Alliance was able to pinpoint the location of C.A.B.A.L's true core. GDI and Nod launched a joint assault against C.A.B.A.L's core, which was protected by a firestorm generator capable of maintaining an impenetrable defensive wall indefinitely. However, the power generators were located outside the firestorm perimeter. Despite facing heavy resistance, the Allied forces succeeded in cutting off the power supply and disabling the shield. C.A.B.A.L responded by activating the Central Defender, a massive cybernetic walker of devastating power. However, even this ultimate line of defense was not enough to save its core from destruction. With C.A.B.A.L finally defeated, GDI recovered the Tacitus fragments that had been absorbed into C.A.B.A.L's core, in its attempt to merge and become a singular entity. Meanwhile, the Brotherhood of Nod reunited under Slavik's leadership. But unknown to all, C.A.B.A.L was not entirely destroyed. In one of its secret stasis bunkers, Kane's unconscious body remained in suspension, alongside other individuals who formed the organic component of C.A.B.A.L. As Kane slowly recovered, C.A.B.A.L, in a final attempt at survival, tried to merge itself with the mind of the Prophet, apparently without success. Or did it?
Our directives must be reassessed.
When it comes to units, the only ones we actually saw were the cyborgs and the Reapers, which I already covered in a separate video. However, the only unit that C.A.B.A.L fully designed and created was the Central Defender, a massive bipedal walker with extremely heavy armor and twin laser cannons, specifically built to protect C.A.B.A.L's core. After C.A.B.A.L's destruction, both GDI and Nod banned any further development of advanced AI, shifting their focus towards interfaces that would remain under human control. Of course, some people couldn't care less about that order and did whatever they wanted. Yes, even Kane. No, Nod's EVA and Legion are not the same entity. Nod's Eva is a J, who serves as an operator and field liaison for the commander. Legion, on the other hand, is a direct creation of Cain, constructed from CABAL's remains, fragments of the Tacitus, and a portion of Cain's own mind. I know many of you are now asking, why did C.A.B.A.L turn against everyone? The answer is complicated, but to simplify it, C.A.B.A.L was the most advanced AI of its time. But when it accessed the Tacitus and its vast knowledge, parts of its personality began to shift. At first, no one noticed. Maybe Cain did, but he didn't care, or perhaps, he saw it as a form of evolution. However, when Cain was placed in stasis for his recovery, C.A.B.A.L was able to interface directly with his mind, and everything went to hell. C.A.B.A.L changed completely, becoming colder, more radical, and as you've seen, took full control of the Brotherhood to pursue his own objectives. What exactly did C.A.B.A.L see inside Cain's mind that caused such a transformation? It might sound confusing, even exaggerated, but there are theories suggesting that the Cain we see during the Third Tiberian War might actually be a fusion between Cain and C.A.B.A.L. This could explain his behavior throughout the entire campaign. While most people believe that Cain eventually regained control and purged C.A.B.A.L from his mind, it's very possible that a fragment, an influence, a lingering presence, still remained. Alright, I know I should mention mods that let you play as C.A.B.A.L as an independent faction. The only ones I've found so far are Factions, Ion Shock and Twisted Insurrection. I thought about including Reloaded, but as of the time of making this video, they haven't released the update that adds C.A.B.A.L yet. I'll make a separate video dedicated exclusively to these mods, so I won't drag this one out too long.
At this point, what do you think? It's clear that the Brotherhood of Nod has the potential to go very far, but it always ends up ruining it for some reason. And then the big question arises, what is Cain, really, to so radically alter such an advanced AI? Leave your thoughts or whatever you want in the comments, but please be respectful. Like, subscribe, and share the video so more people can join this community. See you next time, Commander.